Hey, once this would be my initial thoughts and impressions on the top fin shrimp and plant Oasis 3-gallon all glass tank here. So this is a very nice looking tank in my opinion, and it also seems to be pretty highly constructed. Like I said, it is all glass. The tank itself is all glass. So you have 4 little glass feet underneath here to raise it up a tiny bit. The tank itself is glass. Even the top is glass, which is really cool. Now the top is held on, well, sits on top of the tank with these little plastic, what's called clips, clips to the top, and then they just sit there. And that way the top doesn't fall into the tank, of course. But otherwise, everything is glass on the tank itself. And again, it seems to be very highly constructed, and I really like the way it looks. It looks premium. It is just a cube, which means it is not going to be as long as, say, a standard tank is, like this all-in-one 3-gallon tank from Top Fin. But it is also, see, a little bit taller, and it actually seems to be a little bit wider as well. Again, very, very nice looking. Moving up to the top here, you guys can see there is the Top Fin logo right here, etched into the tank, into the top, which is very cool. You do have this feeder door. Again, this is all glass, so it is cut out of the glass. I wish it had a little flap, but being glass, that's not going to happen. And as you can see though, because this is a glass top, all of the condensation goes, well, you can see all the condensation here. Again, compared to a plastic tank top, where you cannot see the condensation because, of course, you cannot see through the top. You can see all of the condensation up here, where all the water gets stuck, trying to escape the tank. Or the condensation trying to escape the tank. It looks kind of cool, but you should be able to see through this, kind of look down into the tank, but you can't because of that. So, you guys can tell me what you think of that. But it still is a very nice looking tank and top and stuff, like I keep saying. The LED lights here are nice and bright, as you can see here, and they are brighter in real life than you guys will see through the camera. But they are insanely bright. Like, they are brighter than the all-in-ones here, which are actually pretty dang bright as well. But these ones are very, very bright. They are just white. There are no blues. It is touch sensitive though, which is really, really cool. But it is just on and off. One thing I wish this light did was go backwards. I wish it had a hinge on it to move it backwards, get it out of your way. Because when you're trying to do anything in this tank, this is going to be sitting in your way, which is a little bit annoying. I really wish they would have put a hinge on it to move it, so we can move it back and forth. You can still get to the filter though, which is good. And you see this top just kind of moves up. Then you can get into your filter and do whatever you need to do. It does have biological bag media right there. The ceramic rings. And you have your standard Top Fin cartridge right there. And it is see-through, which is really cool in a way. But you can also see, which is actually kind of good. You can see if your cartridge is dirty or not, if your filter is dirty or not. But it's also kind of bad because it kind of, well, makes your tank look dirtier because you can see the dirtiness on the cartridge being see-through. So it's kind of good and bad that it's see-through, I would say. But it is pretty cool. If I remember correct, this does 20 gallons per hour, which seems like it should be sufficient. This tank was cloudy for a few days, so the filter helped clear that up, but it did take a few days for it to clear up because it's not the strongest of filters. But for if you want to do betas in this tank, that is very much a good thing. Same thing with shrimp. You don't want to be pushing the shrimp or betas around. This is made for shrimp, or marketed towards shrimp. So, again, you don't want to be pushing those poor shrimp around. As you can see, the flow rate isn't too strong on the top here. And one thing that's hard to see because I have plants and stuff in the way. So I'm trying to get a good angle here. You guys can sort of see it there, but it actually has a pre-filter on the intake, which means you're not going to be sucking up shrimp especially baby shrimp, into this tank. Again, if you were to do betas on here, it means you're not going to be sucking the beta to the filter itself. But again, that's especially good for shrimp because, again, shrimp are not going to get sucked up into it and stuck in the filter. As that does tend to happen when you have shrimp. When you have a shrimp tank and too strong of a filter. And one last thing to mention here is this also came with this substrate. It is very natural looking substrate. It is supposed to be plant substrate, but I don't really know if it's anything really that special. It doesn't really say on the box. It just says it's for plants and shrimp substrate, basically. It's supposed to help keep the pH correct. But other than that, I don't think it really does anything too crazy special. Where some tanks come with, some of these shrimp and plant tanks come with special plant growing or helping keep alive substrate. This just seems to do kind of keep your pH good, which is good for shrimp though. But other than that, I don't think it's anything too crazy. It looks very nice. I would say that. We'll see again in the future if it really is anything special, I guess. Again, we'll see as time goes on. I do eventually want to get live plants in here. Just for now, I just have these two fake ones. But once I actually get shrimp or whatever I'm going to put in here, probably going to be shrimp this time around. Finally, we'll maybe put in some live plants as the plan, as right now at least. You guys let me know what you think on this. My first impressions are this is a very cool tank. And if you're looking for a shrimp specific tank, I think this is a good one. Normally it's $60 here in the US, but they were actually on sale for only $40. Compared to like the Fluval, that is I think around $100. So yeah, you guys let me know what you think. These were my first impressions. So far it looks to be a very nice tank. And so far I would recommend it after having it up for a few days. Thank you guys very much for watching. As always, I appreciate you. Hope you all have a good one. Goodbye.